What's going on YouTube? Uberman here. So I told you guys I was going out and I was getting this new Impala, and I mean I waited and I waited and I waited and I just couldn't seem to get the guy to sell the damn thing to me. So I said, you know what, that's fine, I guess I don't need an Impala. Instead I went out and I found this, and guys, I'm not a big fan of this car, alright, but let's be realistic. It's a 2007 Chevy Cobalt LS 5-speed stick shift 2.2 Ecotec. I took it on a little 40-mile road trip, got over 40 miles a gallon in it. It's got 65,000 miles on the odometer, cold AC, hot heat, no power options, which means no power windows, no power locks, no cruise control. But it's very clean, it's very low mileage, and if you wait just a minute, I'll tell you how much I paid for it. Look at this, guys. Look, this is what kills me. Alright, it's still got the original airbag sticker hanging. It still has the screen protector on the damn stereo. It is really a clean car. Still has the original window sticker. Ain't that something? And it even shows on the fuel down here, it shows that 28 and 39 mile per gallon on the highway. So what I got on the highway the other day is about right. Like I said, no cruise control. Does have auxiliary input. Does do MP3 with a single disc. I think it's a single disc anyway. Honestly, I don't know. But it's got cold air. It's got hot heat. It's got manual windows. It's got manual locks. There's no OnStar. The glass is good. The interior is very clean. I mean, it really is a clean car. Now, I'm going to have to take it and get it detailed. There's a little stain on the back seat right there. And there's another one just ahead of it. Somewhere like right there. So there's a stain there, a stain there. I'm 99% sure that'll come out. But the rest of the car, it's gorgeous. Now, let's go inside and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Alright, here's the Carfax report. And you guys are probably looking at this going, no way. Actually, yes. It's worth about $5,600 in my market. Let's see if I can focus in a little bit. There we go. The current mileage is right around 65,599 is actually where it's sitting at. Here's the VIN number. And you're probably sitting there going, there's no way that car is worth that kind of money. Well, let's take a look. It's a 2-owner car. No accidents. 22 service history records. It has been serviced at General Motors its entire life. Oil changes, brake flushes, brake work, electric, anything this thing is needed, it has been to the dealer for. And it's all printed out here. You can see, first purchased in 07 and only owned for 4 months. And then it was repurchased in 07, where it has been owned by the same guy for 8 years and 10 months. It only has 60,000 miles on it, guys. Unbelievable. Obviously, it's got the buyback guarantee, no damage, blah, blah, blah. No odometer issues, nothing. We've got service records out the... well, yeah. Look at these. Service records. I mean, this is great, guys. I paid $1,850. No joke, guys. $1,850, and I got to drive it home. Now, there is a catch. There is actually a huge catch. The guy was honest, a legitimate dude. He told me, on occasion, when you go to turn the ignition on, you hear the starter turn, but the car doesn't do anything. He doesn't understand it. He says he put like 5 starters on it, including one from General Motors, and it still does the same thing. Well, I know what that means. I'm a mechanic. I know exactly what that means, and a lot of you probably do too. It means flywheel's bad. That sucks. That's a big deal. It means removing the transmission, but it's a stick shift. It's a little transmission, guys. It's not a big deal. Parts are unbelievably cheap. What happens is the starter has a gear, and the flywheel is like a giant gear. And when you turn the key, that starter turns that giant gear, which turns the engine and forces the car to fire off and start. If you get 2, 3, 4 teeth on that flywheel ground down or ground off or chipped off, the starter will no longer engage whenever the flywheel is on the dead spot with the starter facing it. So it's happened to me one time. Otherwise, guys, you can go out there all day long, start it up, drive it around, start it, driving around. But I did learn, it did it to me one time. You put it in 5th gear and just give it a little push. I mean, I'm not talking about push it down, I'm talking a little push and get back in it, crank it, starts right up. And as long as it's running, got nothing to worry about. So is it a big deal? Yeah, it's a big deal. And I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it because let me tell you what it's going to cost. I've already priced the parts. The flywheel, and I'm doing everything, guys, and the clutch is strong. Everything else is fine. It's just that dead spot in the flywheel. I'm going back with all General Motors original equipment parts. The flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, throwout bearing, pilot bearing, slave cylinder, everything, and a new starter. You don't want to put a new flywheel on and a starter that could possibly have damaged teeth. No. Everything is getting done inside that transmission. Every piece of it. Labor, $600. I got a guy. Yeah, $600 labor, and the parts are going to cost me right at $300. That's hard to believe, especially being OEM General Motors parts. But $300 in parts, and I got a connection on that. $300 in parts, $600 in labor. So you're talking $900 plus the $1,850 I paid for the car. All right, so even if you round it up to $1,000, you're talking $2,850. But in reality, it's going to be $2,750 is what I put into this car to have a low mileage, newer. Well, okay, it's not newer. Let's just not BS each other. An '07 Cobalt that's worth about $5,600, and I will have $2,750 in it. Good tags. You can get in that thing right now and drive it wherever you want. Reliable as hell. Took it on a little 30-mile road trip and got 40-some miles a gallon. I may have already said that. So, with that being said, I'm happy. Sorry. I did want the Impala. I did. But you know what? It's nice owning this outright. And this will be a Turo car. When it's not a Turo car, all three of my other cars will be rented out, and then I will be using this one to get around. But that is my intention for this car. It will be used as my get-around car when my other cars are rented, and when they're not rented, it will be up on Turo. It's a cheap car. I'll list it ridiculously cheap. It'll be so cheap that nobody else's car will be able to compete with it. Because everything I make off of it is just going right back into my pocket. There's no car payment. You know what I mean? There's nothing. Anything that comes in from Turo on this car is mine to keep. So, I know it's not a flashy car. I know it's not an Impala, and I know some people are like, "Oh my God, what did you do?" Hey, you know what? I saw that car for $1,850, and the guy wanted $2,000, and I jumped on it. I mean, I went out at nighttime, and I knew it was the flywheel. I mean, I went out there, and I was like, and I had the $2,000 in cash too, because I had it out for the Impala. And I told the guy, I was like, "Oh man, you know, you got to drop the subframe. Oh man, the transmission got to come out, you know," and which is all true. And I was able to talk him down a couple $100, you know what I mean? So, well, $150. Hey, you know what? $150 is going to go towards $600 in labor, or that's half of what the parts are going to cost me. So, there it is, guys. That's my newest car, and for those of you wondering, how many cars do you have now, Uberman? Well, I have 4. That is car number 4, and if I can continue making money through Turo and some of my other avenues, I'm going to be adding another car. I'm just going to keep building up this fleet of cars, and I'm going to keep renting them out. So, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, be safe out there, and Uber on.